What's up, guys? Let me get this up here and rolling. I'm just going to add my page and a couple of my groups in it, and then I'll start this video, which should be mildly entertaining for some of you. Some of you may get mad, but that's your prerogative. Oh, come on, this thing isn't working. It is not working through this. So let me do this then and see if I can get this to work. I think Facebook is being finicky and not working the way it should. But this is going to be about some funny, some things that I encountered today, and I think it's pretty funny. Let me share this. So, as some know or some don't know, I was a carrier for a long time. I had a bunch of my own trucks. I had a bunch of other trucks and dispatch for a bunch of people. What is going on? This is not working. And I don't know how to fix it. So bear with me while I keep doing this while we're talking. Because it's just not, it's not allowing me to put it where I want in my groups or any group for that matter. Hell, it's not even showing up here. There we go. Let me see. It's just super laggy, which it's weird because it wasn't yesterday. All right, so that shared it. So I'm going to share it just to a couple more groups here in a second, and then I'm going to try to make this video if I can. It's funny. Damn, dude, it's not working this way. Hold on. I'm going to try one last time, and then I'll just do it and manually share it throughout the group. But let's see if it's going to let me do it now. So it says it's posted in that group. So let's see. There. All right. So now it's working. It's kind of funny because, you know, I've been in this industry for a long time, and you encounter a lot of stupid stuff, and you encounter things that are, I don't know what the right word is. You encounter things that are just dumb. And I guess today was a couple of examples of those. You know, it's you get a couple. I want to wait till we get some people on here before I go too crazy, because I think some of the stuff would be pretty informative for others, and which is the reason why I'm trying to make these videos. All right, whatever. I don't care about this anymore. So today you know, I'm a freight broker. For those that don't know, or there's only one person watching right now, but hopefully there'll be more. I've been in the industry for a while, and the thing that's funny about being a broker and working in the industry is some of the things you encounter from the carrier side. Now, I was a carrier for a long time, had my own trucks, a lot of them, managed trucks, ran a dispatch company, a big one. So I'm used to, yeah, I could easily do it for the dunk in the hoop. But, excuse me. But working on the broker side is something I actually don't like it much at all. But I make a lot of money as a broker because I've been doing it for so long. I've got a good book of business, and I've got that. I often leave and we'll start doing other stuff, which is how I ended up doing the dispatching and all that stuff. But so today, the reason why I put this as Andy thought brokers were nuts. So this morning, it's Friday. I'm not really in it. I booked 8 loads. So I get these load lists like this. Pretty much a lot of other brokers get the same list. And that's fine. I work on them and I get people to take those loads, and it's fine. But the thing about them is they're cheap. They're partials. It's a lot of data entry. I don't call on loads, so I don't call on trucks. They call if they want the load. They already know what rate it is and all that good stuff. So it's relatively easy freight. Like I said in the previous video, the margins aren't very big. The margins are lower, and which I'm fine with because the work it's not too much work. All right, so. And at any rate, so what they basically are is they're these metal crates that go in the back of dry vans. You guys have probably seen them if you do dry van stuff. If you don't do dry van stuff, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But at any rate, they're these crates. I don't know what you just wrote, whatever name that is. It's in a different language. But the thing that's funny about them is they go on the back of these trailers. They're big. You could fit 3 to a trailer. Each individual location is a franchise, and they're all kind of jerks. And so the first thing, the topic for the day is I had a carrier that picked up one of these loads. It was $750 going to Colorado. Don't say anything about cheap freight. It's a partial. It doesn't matter. I was making $800 on it, so I wasn't even getting rich off of the load. Meaning I was getting paid $800, paid the carrier $750. I made $50. He made $750. The carrier took the load. I didn't call him on it. He called me on it. We, decided to take it, blah, blah, blah. He booked it last night. About an hour and a half ago, I got a call from the carrier, and he's like, hey, man, I got to cancel. And I said, of course, I'm a little ticked off. It's a new customer. I'm trying to, impress them and be happy with them. But he's like, yeah, I got to cancel. My other load fell through. It's a partial, so I understand that. And I can't go to Colorado for $750. Of course, you can't completely agree. Now, logical people, there's 13 people watching now. I'm sure more people are going to watch this video later. Logical people would say, okay, you have 2 options. One, I can either just cancel the load and not pick it up and just cancel the load, or 2, I could pick it up and just say, hey, I'm going to be late, after either before or after it's picked up, and say, hey, I'm going to be late because my other load canceled. I got to find something else going to Colorado. I can't take this otherwise, and leave that option to the broker to deal with the customer. Well, this guy decided to go pick up the load, try to find something else. He was unable to find it. So then he called me and said, hey, I'm canceling the load. But he never called me and told me he picked it up. So I just assumed, okay, he's canceling, he can't pick it up. Gave him a little bit of crap for canceling the load, whatever, that's to be expected. It's the same thing as when I can't cancel on a broker or on a carrier, they get pissed off too. It's to be expected, So his other load canceled. He called me. He said, hey, I cancel. I said, all right. He didn't mention that he picked up the load. I said, all right, I'll take you off the load, blah, 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 And I took him off of the load, sent an email to my customer, said, hey, the load's canceled. About 40 minutes later, I get an email from my customer saying, hey, can you explain how you can cancel a load after you've already picked it up? And I said, well, shit, I didn't know he picked it up. So I call him back, and then he starts screaming at me because I'd said, hey, did you already pick up the load? What are you doing with it? And he's like, well, I'm going to go back to delivery. And I'm like, you have to call. It's not, you can't just show up. You have to call and make an appointment and do all that shit just to deliver the crate back. And they're a franchise. I don't even know if they're going to accept it. He then, it's all my fault. He started screaming at me saying, what do I expect him to do? I said, I don't, I expect you to act like a businessman. And, if you can't take the load, I completely get that. I'm not going to drive a truck, to Colorado for $750. Either tell me I got to find something else, or tell me, hey, find a way to get this off my truck. Just don't blindly go somewhere and trying to get it done. Long story short, that was the first laugh that I had. We're getting it to don't book loads with Landstar. So I just got an email from, yeah, whatever. Now we have 3 topics to talk about today. All right. So that was the first instance. Second one is I had a woman that picked up one of these crates in New Orleans, a woman driver. Nice. She sounded nice when we booked the load. She signed and sent back the rate confirmation. Everything was fine. Never heard from her again. She didn't call in when she picked up, which is on the rate con to do a million times. She didn't call in when she picked up. And I'm not, I mean, these are partials. There's not a lot of money, and I'm not really, hounding them too hard, which maybe I should start. But I kind of let it go. I finally yesterday, because the customer was like, hey, did this pick up? Because we can't get a hold of our terminal. I call the terminal, finally get a hold of them. They say, yeah, it picked up, the day before. I'm like, okay. It was supposed to deliver, or it picked up Monday or something. It was supposed to deliver yesterday. It didn't deliver. I call them and say, okay, I try to call her, leave her voicemail, send her emails, everything. Finally, I go on to carrier 411, find another associated number with them, call that number. Lo and behold, here she is. She answers the phone, and she's ticked off because I am supposed to know when she hasn't checked in with me in 3 days that she's sitting at the delivery location, has been for an hour, and they're not offloading her yet. And so I had a good laugh about that. And then I explained to her, like, listen, I didn't know. It says 2-hour pre-call. Did you pre-call? No, she didn't pre-call. Your appointment's not till 1. It was 12 o'clock. You understand that finally. Okay. Then she calls me back about an hour ago, and sorry for the chew. It's better than smoking, right? She says, they won't take it off my truck. And I said, why won't they take it off your truck? And she said, because I have a U-Haul box in front of it, and they're refusing to take the U-Haul box off first. And I said, of course they're not going to take the U-Haul box off first, because it's not theirs. That's a liability. I said, ask if they have a dock so you can go take it off yourself. And then I got berated with swear words and stuff, and she doesn't do it. And I said, no warehouse is going to allow them to take freight off, them take liability of pulling that freight off to get to their freight and then put the other freight on. It's a huge liability issue. No one would do it. She says, it happens to me all the time. Maybe it's just because I'm a woman. I'm not even going to go there. I said, well, I've never heard of it happening. And I used to own a bunch of trucks, and we would have to fight and push and moan just to be able to pull our own shit off and put it on the dock while we move shit around. Long story short, I said, just ask the guy if you can use a dock, because they were trying to tail offload it. I said, ask if you can use a dock to get the shit off and then be happy with it. So she screamed, and she did tell me the guy was being super rude to her. And then she's like, I can't mimic it. It was not polite. And I can understand why someone would be rude to someone who talked to him like that. But she's like, can I use your dock to pull this off, seeing how you won't do it and this and that? And yeah, I heard him say, yeah, I'll let you use a dock, but I'm not helping. And so she starts moaning, Finally, she hangs up on me, but I can hear her say, this is fucking retarded and all that stuff. And hey, you know what? Whatever. As long as she gets it off the trailer, and I don't care. But that's something that I think is pretty funny. She delivered a day late. She didn't do any tracking on it. I tried to track it. She never answered the phone. It is what it is. Everyone wants to complain about brokers all the time. Shit, when I was a dispatcher and when I had trucks, I complained about brokers. I got a list a mile deep of brokers I won't do work with and that I won't recommend to anybody else. I've got a list of brokers that are good and I would work with if I had trucks again. I just don't have trucks and don't care to ever own them again. But that's just me. Some people love trucks. I don't. I actually have an office and I have people that work in the office. I just choose to work from my house. For the most part, I do go to the office and I will train people there, and stuff like that, but I don't, let's see if, they picked up that call, but I guarantee the person who picked up that call will end up calling me with a question that I've answered 5,000 times before. And that's a problem with having a staff. But yeah, I do have an office. I have people that work for me. They kind of handle the carrier sales side. So if that rang like twice, then I'd pick it up, or not when I'm making a video, but eventually I'll make a video when we're really busy so you guys can see what it's like from the broker's perspective. But I prefer, like I said in yesterday's video, I prefer to work from home because I'm actually way more productive than I am in the office. I don't have any of the distractions of micromanaging my employees and things like that. I just have the freedom of working. See, she transferred the call to me. So 1 second. Dispatch. Yeah, it's yeah. I'm gonna put you on speaker while I tell you about this load. It's a partial load, 16,000 pounds. It's two 16-foot long crates. It picks up today until 4 o'clock, delivers Monday through Friday until 4. You got to call 2 hours before you arrive, and we are paying $1,200, and that rate is firm. It's firm, yep. All right.
All right, thanks.
Yep, bye. That is how I handle the people that call about these loads. Now, California to Dallas for $1,200, that's not going on my truck if I own trucks, which I don't. But that's what the customer is paying. On that load, I'm going to make like $50. I'm not going to, everyone gets on these and brokers make so much fucking money. It's crazy. And they're making huge percentages and 50, 40, 50, 60% and all that stuff. And it's, it's crazy because, I'm a different kind of broker. I'm what I call a volume broker. I work on little margins, but I cover a lot of loads a day, because if I cover 10 loads at, $60, $70 a pop, guess what? I'm making a shit ton of money. And I spend less time ultimately doing that than, I do, quoting out big moves and all that stuff. I have more tracking and shit to do. But that's why I have people that do that. But yeah, that's here. What does this mean? I'm curious. Anyone know what that means? I don't. All right, if you're still watching, type that in the chat. That would be interesting for people to learn. But here's another call. Let's see if she picks it up so I don't have to while I'm making a video. She's not going to. So, dispatch.
Hey, Steve, Trevor Moore calling about that loader.
At 3. He's trying to figure it out. Last I heard, he was 50 miles away. So that was 2:05. So half an hour ago. Let me call him. I'll call you back in a minute or two. All right. Yeah, the 317 number. Yep. All right. We'll do. All right. Bye. Yep. Bye. Now there's a good lesson. And I'll explain that. So I booked a load. It's a loader going from Indianapolis to Michigan or something like that. And it's not an oversized load. It's legal. The top's been ripped off. It's an old military vehicle. It's a legal load, legal dimensions and everything. So I posted it yesterday. I didn't really get any bites on it. And towards the end of the day, guess who calls? Landstar. So I say, okay, I'm going to book the load with Landstar. They had the driver information. Here's a little background. I used to be a Landstar agent. I've worked with Landstar before. I have no problem with the majority of their agents and no problem with the majority of their drivers. There's a reason why I left Landstar. It's because there's too many damn companies there. They have a horrible reputation in the industry. You can't get any shippers to work with you because they've already been called by 15 other people. And so I try not to work with them that much. And I'm skipping this because this is load board call. But it's, a lot of people don't work with Landstar, and I gave it a shot. And of course, guess what happens? So I text him at 12 o'clock when I'm doing my 12 o'clock tracking, and I say, hey, just making sure driver's on track. I didn't get a response for a long time. Hold on, this guy keeps calling. He hung up. I didn't get a response from him. So while I started making this video a couple of minutes ago, he then replied to me and said, I can't get in touch with the driver. His phone's off. I'm trying to find someone else within 50 miles, blah, 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 blah. That is a very common theme with Landstar. So I guarantee right now, if I search and if I could figure out how to do this, I will. But if I look up Indianapolis, I can guarantee. Matter of fact, let's do that. Let me get this off so you don't see our TMS system, because I don't know if they like that. And then I'm going to share this screen when I look at the load board. Let me put that up here and see if it works. Oh, look at that. That's way too close on my face. Can I make that smaller? Let's get some background in there. Hold on. Dispatch.
Yeah, hi. Last calling New Style Trucking. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Good. Hey, calling for a partial load out of Tualatin going to Louisville.
Yeah, that load's covered. Sorry, I got to take it down.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, bye. All right. And again, that is an embellishment. I'm not really working right now. So now, just because I'm curious, I'm going to look for step decks or F&K, flatbeds. I'm just going to look for all of them. And then I'm going to do Indianapolis. Now, let's see if this load is posted. I'm just going to do a quick, 25-mile radius of Indianapolis and search. And see if Landstar has my load posted when it's due. And I'll be very surprised if they don't. Like I said. Yeah, you know what? It's going to Michigan, so I should have put Michigan in there. And maybe they don't. Maybe the guy's just not working on it at all because he doesn't even care about my freight. And Landstar's huge, so what do they care? And it doesn't look like it's here. So he's just probably not working on it. So I have to eat my words now because he didn't have it posted. So maybe he's just not working on it, or someone could see if it's in the Landstar board. I'm not going to go through all that right now because I don't care. But that's one of the risks that you use when you use a company like Landstar. Again, I don't have any problem with the majority of Landstar, and I didn't. That's not the reason I left. The reason I left is because I reached that plateau of the amount of customers I could have, because every new customer I was calling, and I'm a sales guy, so I call a shit ton of people all the time. Every new customer I called, they were just not available, or they wouldn't work with Landstar, or they were bombarded by, overseas call centers for Landstar, which is the reason why I couldn't, continue working with them, because, I wanted to expand my book and I couldn't do that with them. So I left, and I actually left, with Landstar, I was just ending my fire career. I used to be a firefighter. And so I was just ending that side of things. And I ended up, leaving Landstar and moving to Florida, and took a position with another company down here. And that didn't work out either. So I started my own thing again, but, that's it. I better go handle this Landstar load because I don't like doing stuff like that. So I'm going to handle this Landstar load. I have a new Facebook group, which there's 20 people in here. I'm just going to put it in the chat here. If you search, I think it's my favorite freight broker or whatever, down in the link that you guys are watching this with, you could see. And also if you do, if you're a YouTube guy and you like watching YouTube videos, I'm going to start posting these videos and other videos and informative type of lessons and shit about brokers and carriers and all that. Essentially a free resource. So all you guys that are dumping out money to pay for courses, even the ones I taught, you guys are all active and working. But the ones that are going out and spending money on these courses and seminars and shit like that, watch the videos. You're going to learn all the same shit, if not more. And it's all free. It's not going to cost you a damn dime. And then I'm also going to have freightbrokerlive.com. It's not open yet. I'm going to work on that this weekend, where that's going to be a blog and resources, and I'm going to have a little store on there so I can make some side income if people buy stupid shirts and shit like that, like funny shirts. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to post every day about just shit I find funny in the industry and trucking in general. And if people have questions, join these chats. You'll kind of have to follow my Facebook group page, because I'm not advertising. I'm not doing these at a set time. I can't, because I work too much. So it's going to be when I have a little bit of time or when I feel like making a video. So yeah, I'll probably make one tomorrow and just give a little background into how I got involved in the industry. My YouTube channel, see, I think you just got to search, or I'll put a link on my Facebook group or whatever, because I just created all this shit today. I made a video yesterday. It had a bunch of views, and I realized that there may be a market for it. So I think if you go to the Facebook group, which is my favorite freight broker, if you go to that group, I'll link it later when I find a link for it, because I don't even know what it is. I think there's just a video I made from yesterday that's on there. But if you go to that my favorite freight broker, you'll be able to keep in touch, because every video I post, I'll post all over there. I'll spam it all over social media. And like I said, I'm very receptive to questions. I had a huge, long conversation with a woman last night about becoming a freight agent and all that stuff. She had a bunch of questions. She worked for someone already, and she wanted to decide if it was worth it to leave that company where she drew a salary and made 15% commission. And I said, absolutely not. Just prove yourself to get more business, so that way you make more of a commission. But, because she didn't have a book. If she had her own book of business to take with her, absolutely go be an agent for someone if you have a book that you can manage and all that stuff. But yeah, that's basically what I would do. I'm not gonna charge for any advice. I'm not gonna do lessons. I'm not gonna do, I talked yesterday about doing like a mentor thing, 101. If I choose to do that and have people that I'm training 101 that want to become agents with us or sub agents under my agency, that's down the line. It's nothing I'm even planning. Again, I'm not going to charge for anything. I make plenty as a freight broker. My goal is to help people that want to learn the industry and learn a little bit more about the industry, and make videos and make fun of people and make fun of things that I see that are funny and make fun of the industry. And I'll make a video every single day that I'm working, because every single day some funny shit happens and I laugh at this job. Granted, it's stressful, but as a freight broker, I laugh a lot. I meet a lot of drivers. I have long ass conversations, because clearly I like to talk. This has been going on for 25 minutes now. So I like to talk and do all that. So, that's what I do. But, yeah, I'll link the Facebook group. I'll link all that. Well, the Facebook group, you could see, because it's going to be like Steve shared a video or whatever. So you can join that group, and, feel free to share this video when it ends too. And the more people I get, the more content I'll make and all that good stuff. All right, bye.